What is up, guys? If you are an S550 Mustang owner with the good old analog cluster, well, this video is for you. Now, if you're like me and have always wanted to get into the digital cluster world, you know that the OEM option for the S550 Mustang is quite costly. Unless you're very lucky to find a deal on Marketplace or at a scrapyard, buying new is very expensive. And this is why today I'm going to introduce you to a new product on the S550 Mustang market that would allow you to have a little more options for the digital cluster world. Now, this is the box in which the cluster comes in, and in the box you will get the new bezel to accommodate for the new cluster. You will get a USB cable that connects to the cluster with a USB-A female port so that you can update the cluster if there are any new updates available. Now, the kit also comes with a GPS antenna that is already in the car right now because I went through this install already, but I wanted to show you guys how it all goes together. And then you get the digital cluster itself. Now, here is a side-by-side comparison. This is the old analog cluster, and this is the brand new digital option. Now, listen very carefully. This part of the video serves as a disclaimer because there are some smaller parts that need to transfer from the old system over to the digital cluster so that the install goes smooth. So on the cluster side of thing, on the OEM analog display, there are clips that you need to transfer over from this to the digital display. There are two important clips that you need to transfer over. It's these two right here. This one right here and that one right here. As you can see on the digital display, I have transferred over this one and that one. Now for the cluster bezel, this is the OEM cluster bezel. As you can see, the vent is missing. That is because we need to transfer over the vent over to the new cluster bezel because it doesn't come with one. After you've removed the vent, there are two clips that need to transfer over. It is this one in the very middle right here and that one right here. This is the digital cluster bezel. So as you can see, the vent is over here, and on the middle, I have transferred over the metal clip right here and the yellow one right here. The clips may vary in color. Some are blue, yellow, or white. Mine is yellow right here. Now that you know what to transfer over from the analog system to the digital system, I'll show you a step-by-step guide to remove the analog display and to install the all-new digital display. Now, we start the install on the passenger side of the car, and there are two things that we need to remove. First is this plastic trim right here, and then is going to be this long trim right here with the vents. Now, be careful, these trims are held on with plastic clips. Some of mine have broken over time from, you know, putting them on and removing them, whatever. So be careful with them, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So this one right here, and this one right here. Now we are on the driver's side. The driver's side is very similar to the passenger side. On the bottom left right here, you have a plastic trim of the same shape of the passenger side one. So essentially you just pop it off. Then you will have 3 7mm bolts to remove. So one here, one here, one here. Now, once you have removed all 3 of them, you can pop the light control module off. Now, careful with this one also, it has clips. I've broken one right here. It was really hard to remove, but yeah, be careful, there are clips. And also on this one, there's a cable, so don't just yank it out. Pop it off and then take the connector out and you'll be good to go. After the light control module has been moved, you can pop this whole plastic trim off. So just pop it off like so. And this will give you access to the lower trim bezel bolt right here. Now, on the right side of the cluster bezel, there is also this plastic trim that we need to remove. This is the trim that houses the chime, the good old Ford chime. And once you pop it off, you'll have access to the right lower trim bezel bolt right here. With all of these removed, you can remove the bolt right here, the bolt down there, and these 2 bolts right here. And this will allow you to remove the bezel. Now, the OEM bezel has the leather steering column booth attached to it, and this would actually be clipped on the steering column over here. So make sure to just you know, pop it off also as you remove the bezel. Now guys, this is where it gets a little complicated. The hardest part of this whole install is to remove the OEM cluster. There are two ways to go about it. If you really want to just not really struggle with it, you will have to remove the steering wheel, because the steering wheel is a bit, you know, in the way of moving the cluster out. I got to remove it. I got to remove the cluster without having to remove the steering wheel. It is feasible. I've done it multiple times, but every time I do it, it is hard. Like, it's a pain. Okay, so this is why it's already removed. I didn't want to struggle on camera. Know what I'm saying? But once you have removed the OEM cluster, now this is where the fun begins. Now in the kit, you will have a connector that has a plug like this. You'll have a connector that has a plug like this that plugs behind the digital cluster, as well as, where is it? The GPS antenna that has a plug like this. You can decide however you want to route these cables throughout, you know, the dash. I have my USB cable routed to the secret compartment right here on the SF50 Mustang. So it's right there, as well as the GPS antenna module. You know, you can really put them anywhere you want. This is how I've set mine up. But yeah, I'll show you now how it looks all reassembled. Now, it has been a couple of days because these past few days it's been raining as hell. I don't know if we're in the rainy season for a while, but it's been raining and it is going to rain later today. It's really windy, but I'm going to take this time to show you guys the cluster in more details. One of the first things you will notice when starting up the car is the new animation. All right, I got the fan going on. So one cool thing about this cluster versus what's already available on the aftermarket market, I guess, is that this one actually keeps the OEM track apps and functionality on the left. So when using the arrows on the steering wheel, you can go through the menus, G-force, miles per gallon, trip info, little car, battery voltage, inlet temperature, oil temp, AT, air fuel, cylinder head, pressure, vacuum, yeah, boost. Get all the information. So that is one cool thing about that cluster. Now, one thing you can really notice is that this has a very like futuristic modern look, which I like pretty much. One of the cool things about having this cluster is that it has many different styles. So when pressing on the left arrow, you can go into vehicle settings, style, and then choose between city, sports, and road. So this cluster was the road version. If we go into city, you will get this one. And Ferrari, don't come at me. I did not make this product. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it does look like a Ferrari cluster. You know, some people like it, some people don't. I'm not really a fan of it. But I did not, you know, I'm not interested in this product for this style of cluster in particular. It's still, I mean, it's still cool though, but yeah, not my style. Then there is the sports. Now sports resemble a little bit of the Ford GT with the RPMs at the top. Pretty cool, you know. So on the left, same thing. You can have your info right there. It's cool. It has a, you know, more minimalistic look to it, but me personally, I am a fan of the road cluster. So the road cluster, that's my jam. It can be a little over the top for people, but to me it looks cool. You got all the info you need. You got the battery voltage, the oil temp, coolant temp. If you have an automatic over here, you'll have your transmission temps right there. There's the compass over there. And on the bottom right here, this would be your automatic gears. Now, when going through the settings, in vehicle settings, you have access to the style of the cluster. You have vehicle color, which is the color of the vehicle over there. I did ask the person providing this product if there were like a way to just disable the car, and they came back to me saying no, for now. I guess that this is something that could be added in a future software update, because I am not big. I do find it a little cringe to have like a big ass Mustang in your, front cluster, but that's me. But yeah, you can change the Mustang to whatever they have, like Shelby's and so on and so forth. Yeah. Then anti-theft system. You have the information, lighting, lighting. Not really sure what they like. What does that setting do? But it is what it is. You got the my key, the key settings, pretty much all the settings you would have in the OEM cluster. Window control, wiper system, ambient lighting, assisted driving, if you have that. And a bunch of other stuff. A display setting, you can set your temperature unit. Smart entry, not really sure what that is. And then G-force, you can calibrate your G-force meter over there. But yeah, that is for vehicle settings. Now, track apps. Again, track apps, we have the accelerometer, we have the brake performance, results, pretty much the base track apps that I had on my base model Mustang EcoBoost. I think that the GT has more, maybe the Shield B has more, but that's what I have. System setting. So system setting is where you are going to go to basically fine tune your experience with the cluster. You have the language, the date, time, units, if you want to go miles per gallon, liters, if you want to set your temperature, your pressure units. Now, general settings. General settings is where you're going to go to set up your brightness level. So for me, brightness, when it's daytime, I just, full crank it to 100% because I want it to be like as clear as possible. Then night brightness, to me, 30% is a sweet spot because anything over 30% is a little too bright for me during nighttime. But yeah. And then what else? In general setting, there is a setting called speed warn. So that is one thing about China, is that they have in their cars, they have like mandatory speed warnings in their clusters. That is something that they have to do so that their cluster are, by the regulations, I guess. But for us, we can just turn it off, because like if you set it on, like whatever speed alarm you set, it'll just beep and be annoying. So then you have your version software. You can go to factory settings. Now, the factory setting over here, this is where you can set password, basically codes that let you fine tune a little deeper the experience. And in the video description, I'll have some codes for you to basically change some stuff around, because by default, the cluster comes for the automatic setting. So you'll have the gears, you'll have a bunch of other stuff. My car is a manual, so I don't really need it. So there is a special code that you need to put in to remove the gears from the cluster. So I'll have that in the description of the video. Now, system settings, whatever. Now, maintenance, self-explanatory. You have your oil life settings. There's a place for you to, put your brake life, inspection, brake fluid. Basically, anything about maintenance, you can set a date and have like a reminder whenever time comes for you to service whatever you need to service. And guys, that is pretty much it as far as features go. Yeah, I mean, it is a cluster. So you'll see your speeds, your RPMs, all the info about your car. And yeah, I really like it. It gives a little bit of gives a little bit of freshness to the S550 Mustang compared to the good old analog display cluster. But yeah, now on the next part of the video, we are going to go for a ride. So stay tuned. And just like that, we are back in the garage. Thanks to DreamMat for sending the cluster over for review. If you guys want to get one for yourself, I'll have the link down in the description, and there is a sale going on. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you want more content with me and the Mustang, follow me on all other social medias. I post a lot more on IG, TikTok, and YouTube Reels, so follow me on there.